Stampers, this is Dawn, and today we're going to make this Shadow Box Christmas card. Oh my gosh, look how pretty. See all the glitter? So this is the cherry cobbler with the gold accents, which is the gold foil sheet and then the gold glimmer paper. And then I made this one with the Night of Navy with no glimmer paper on the back of the houses or the church. And I just used the Dazzling Diamonds glimmer paper around the window cut of the shadow box. So but today we're going to make the Night of Navy version like the cherry cobbler, but with the silver accents. So the silver foil sheet and the silver glimmer paper. But aren't they beautiful? Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So let me give you all the measurements. You're going to need 2 pieces of Night of Navy, and these are both cut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and we're going to score both of these pieces. And then you're going to need 2 pieces of Whisper White, and these are both cut at 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. Then if you want to add a panel to the back, let me show you the cherry cobbler version. So this is the front, and then of course there's no place to sign it, so we wanted to flip it over and then add this panel right here. So if you want to do that, let me give you the measurements. The silver foil sheet is cut at 3 1/4 by 4, and then a piece of Whisper White, which is cut at 3 by 3 3/4. And then you're going to need, of course, some silver glimmer paper, so pretty. And then I went ahead and saved some time for the embossing part of the greeting. And this greeting is approximately 3/4 by 3 inches long. And I just hand cut that out and then embossed with the silver embossing powder on the Night of Navy, and then layered it onto the silver foil sheet. So I went ahead and did that beforehand. All right, so let's grab our paper trimmer. All right, so first we're going to score both pieces the exact same way. So we're going to score on both ends at 1/2 inch, and I'm using the right hand side of my paper trimmer. So 1/2 inch and then 1 inch, and you're going to turn it and do the exact same thing on this end. So 1/2 inch and 1 inch. Okay, and then the second piece, same thing. And 1 inch. Okay, next we're going to grab our big shot. All right, so we're going to cut our circle out for the frame of our shadow box, and we're going to use the layering circle framelits, and we're going to use these 2 circles right here. So the smaller one is going to actually cut the window out of the Night of Navy, and making the front, I want to put the circle towards the bottom of the card because I'm going to put my greeting up at the top, so you want to have some space for that. And I'm lining that framelit up between the 1/2 inch score lines. So you want that circle to fit right between those closest score lines. And we're going to go ahead and cut that out. So there's our little window to our shadow box. Now we're going to go ahead and cut the same circle, but with the scallop. This time we're going to take the scallop circle, which is the next size up from the circle we just cut out. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut that out first. Okay, so here's our circle. Now we're going to take the smaller size. And this frame is going to be really just a small border. So here's our frame. Okay. All right. So we're going to be using these edgelits, and this is the Hometown Greetings Edgelits, and we're going to use these 2 edgelits from this collection. And this is also available in a bundle with the Hearts Come Home, and you can buy these together and save 10%. So we're going to take both of our pieces, the 3 1/2 by 3 1/2, and we're going to cut 1 of each of the edgelits on the Whisper White like that. And I'm going to use these 2 houses here with the tree and get that to the center of my layer here, and I'm going to push that all the way up to that roof line of that tallest house right there. And then we're just going to run that through. Now you could use wax paper which I have some right here if you want to run that through just a couple times just to kind of prime that edgelit, because these little pieces in this house are really small, so the wax paper kind of makes it easier when you're popping them out. So I'll just use the wax paper and show you how that works. Okay. So you can see the wax paper just comes right out of that little edgelit. And then you'll just have to take your finger and just run across those little windows and doors, and all the little pieces fall out. Okay, so now let's cut our next one. So this time we're going to cut the church. I'm going to use a wax piece of paper for this one as well. So this time we're going to take the church, the little steeple here, or the cross, and that's going to go right up to the top of your 3.5 by 3.5 piece. And this little tree will be cut off. So we just want to make sure it's all the way up touching to that edge, and then run that through. All right, so there's our little house and our little church. Isn't it beautiful? Okay, so we're going to be cutting the tree out, and this tree is from the Card Front Builder Thinlits, and this is also available in a bundle with the Carols of Christmas stamp set, and when you buy those together in a bundle, you'll save 10%. So we're going to cut out 2 of the trees, and I'm just using the single tree. So let me go ahead and cut both of these out. Okay, so we got both of our trees cut out. Let's move the Big Shot. So if there's any pieces left in your houses, you can take the Big Shot die brush and just run that over the edgelit, and it pops everything out really nicely. We're going to remove this half of a house on the edge here. So I'm going to cut that off, and then remove this tree on this edge. And I think I'm going to cut this tree off, but I won't know until we actually get to the card. So let me show you how I'm going to add the glimmer paper. Okay, so you're going to grab your glimmer paper, and I just used the multi-purpose liquid glue. And you're just going to put your glue on the back of the houses. Okay, and then you're just going to flip this over. Take your glimmer paper, and you're just going to add it to the back side. And then you can add a clear block on top of that just to kind of hold that in place so it has time to dry and seal up really nicely together. But I went ahead already and did both of the pieces, so let me show you then what you're going to do after it dries. So here are both of my sections here, and this one I still have to cut out. So let me grab my paper snips. So once your glimmer paper and your Whisper White is totally dry, you'll just go ahead and hand cut around your houses. And it's really, really super easy. I'm almost undercutting, so I'm kind of like squeezing my little snips between the Whisper White cardstock and that glimmer paper. And then I'm just cutting like underneath that because I just want that glimmer paper to show through the windows. Okay, so there's your houses with the glimmer paper behind the windows and the doors. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so next we're going to go ahead and fold our score lines on our front of the shadow box card. So it should be like a mountain and a valley. So it should look like this. And you're going to do both sides the exact same way. Mountain and valley. So this is the front. Actually, this is the front. We want to put our greeting up there. And then this one is going to go opposite. So it's going to go valley and then mountain. So it should look like this now. So this is the back side of our shadow box card. Okay, so then your front is going to go onto the back like this with your tear and tape. So let's go ahead and add that. Okay, so for the front of your shadow box card, we're going to add the church part of the Hometown Greetings Edgelits. And all I did is I'm just going to add a piece of snail along the bottom edge. You could also add dimensionals if you want it to kind of pop out behind the window. And with this being cut at 3.5, it should fit right between the score lines. Okay, so all you're going to do is you're going to line this edge up to the bottom of your shadow box card. And then you're just positioning that church and house between the window, just like that. Super easy, right? And then if you have it overhanging like I do over here, so I want to cut this tree off because I want to save that and use that for the front. So I'm just going to remove the tree, and then you can just trim down the Whisper White section in the back because nobody's going to even see that. Okay, so there's the front. Now this piece is going to go on the back side at the very bottom edge, but this time we're going to add dimensionals on the back side of this. Okay, so then this piece is going to go on the back panel, taking that edge, and you're going to line that up with the bottom of your back piece. Okay, just like that. So then you can kind of do a dry run and see how that's going to look. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Okay, so now we're going to add our frame. So remember, this is the scallop frame we're going to add to the front. So I'm going to use my liquid glue again. And the liquid glue is very time forgiving, so you can manipulate the frame to move around to fit perfectly around the front of your shadow box. So pretty. Okay, and we're going to pop the trees up on dimensionals. And you're going to keep them towards the bottom with the dimensionals because you want to adhere it to the front at the bottom. You don't want the dimensionals peeking through the windows. So I feel 2 fit perfectly on there. And then you're just going to position the trees where you want them on the bottom section of the card. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, so pretty. Okay, so then remember when we cut out the tree, I believe it was over here, or maybe that was the house, and then this one was the tree, but we have the tree that's left over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little mini dimensionals, I'm going to pop that tree up and put it right on the front here between the church and the house. Just adds another element to the card. See it? Isn't that cute? Okay, so now let's go ahead and put our shadow box card together. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and peel off the backing of our tear and tape. And working one side at a time, I'm just going to take this edge and line it up with the back edge. And this card will fit into a standard size envelope, and then you just push in the sides and then it stands up all by itself. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so now we're going to add our little greeting. Now one little tip on this, you want to put the little mini dimensionals at the very top of both of the ends because this banner will hang over the cutout just a little tiny bit. I'm going to push that steeple away. Put that right there. Oh my gosh, love it. Okay, so now let's go ahead and flip it over and we'll put our greeting on the back. Okay, so to save some time, I also embossed the wishing you a beautiful season and a new year of peace and happiness. And both of the greetings for the front, enjoy the warmth of the season for the front, and the greeting for the back side is also from the Hearts Come Home stamp set. So we're just going to go ahead and layer these pieces together. See, and so the card folds flat when you mail it. It fits in a regular size envelope. And then the recipient just pinches the sides in to make it set up. Isn't that pretty? Oh, so beautiful. So then here's the cherry cobbler using the gold accents, gold foil sheet and the gold glimmer paper. Same card, just with different colored cardstock and accents. And then this one is using the Night of Navy with the Dazzling Diamonds glimmer paper for the frame, but then I kept the church and the houses without any glimmer paper behind it, so it's still so pretty. Okay, so that's how you make that Christmas shadow box, and I'll have all the items used on all the cards listed below, and then also subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any future videos. Okay, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later. Bye.